Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Om Shri Matre Namaha Om. So let us look at verse number 1 to 41 of the Soundarya Lahari. That is the revision that we were going to do. So basically, if we look at it, that uh, firstly, we keep saying, isn't it? Uh, what is Brahman? So then we don't have a definition for what is Brahman. So we use terms like saying, oh, it is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Now, Sat, we can understand. There is every point of time in your life you are thinking that you are existing. Chit, you can understand. You are conscious. Where is Ananda coming from? Now, Ananda does not come to us from things around us. So where is Ananda coming from? It has to come from me. See, my body, it cannot give me Ananda. Sometimes it is giving me pleasure, sometimes it is giving me pain. What is my manas doing? Sometimes it is giving me pleasure, sometimes it is giving me pain. What is my intellect doing? Sometimes it is saying, oh, I have been respected, mana. Sometimes it is saying, I have been disrespected, apamana. So all of this judgment, emotion, bodily change, none of them are giving me that permanence of a pleasure. But where is the pleasure? That source of that, where is it coming from? It is coming from the self. So therefore, the rishis have put Ananda as the definition of the Atman or Brahman. So when we look at, secondly, another thing we have to understand, that what is the scripture? Now, scripture has been basically broken up into two large parts, right? Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is that which is we normally call it the Vedas. That which was heard. Heard meaning not heard as in from the ears, but they perceived that as a reality and then they wrote it down. When they wrote it down or when it was transferred, it has become Smriti already. What we can do is take the Smriti of the Vedas. Vedas also Smriti. See, I'm changing some definition. When Veda is told to you, right? Rig Veda, 10th chapter, 10th mandala, Sahasrashirsha Purushaha. Oh, it is in the Vedas. So it is Shruti. No, no, no. For you, it is Smriti. क्योंकि आपको किसी ने सुनाया. When you, in your deepest meditation, realize that as the truth, it becomes Shruti for you. So, what is the Veda for you then? It is an indicator, right? Arundhati Darshana Nyaya. What is Arundhati Darshana Nyaya? So, Arundhati Darshan Nyaya में क्या होता है? In South Indian marriages, the marriage always happens at a point of time when the Arundhati star can be seen in the Saptarshi Mandal. So, the husband takes the wife with his right hand, he holds the waist. Actually, that is the first time the husband actually physically touches the girl. He takes her to the window. Then he says, can you see Arundhati? No, I can't see Arundhati. Okay. Can you see this tree? Yes. Can you see the branch of that tree which is going to the left? Ah, yes. Can you see the tip of that branch which has become two parts? Yes. Can you go to the tip of that? Yes. Can you see a star just beyond that? Yes. Can you see one small star above that? Yes. This is Arundhati Darshana Nyaya. Making that which is unknown known to you through the known. जो मैं जानता हूं उसको दिखाकर जो नहीं जानता हूं उसको समझाना. So what is the Veda to you? The Veda, or to you and me, is the direction, like Arundhati Darshan Nyaya. It is showing me then the final jump I have to take. So now, firstly, we have to take this as pramana. What is pramana? Pramana means, again, obviously literal translation, proof. Now, how do I know it is true? There are three ways by which we define anything in this world as true. Number one, it has to be in my experience. Correct? If it is in my experience, it is true for me. I am seeing this computer, which means this computer is truth. Number one. Number two, somebody very dear to me who I trust and believe has come to me and told me, you know, on the main road just now, there was a big accident. Now, is it in my experience? No. But should I then take it as truth? I will, because that person has a track record of being true. Right? He has a track record. He has established that trust. He has established that credibility. And he is dear to me. Third, people who we trust but we don't know have done research and written something. And that we also accept as true. For example, in today's newspaper, on the headlines, there will be a news which says Arvind Kejriwal has been released on bail, or he has been arrested. I don't know, whatever. I'm not following Arvind Kejriwal. But let's just an example. Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested, or he has been put on bail. Do you know that to be true? No. Do you know that the person who writes in the newspaper is a very nice, honest person who you know very well and he's very dear to you? No. Then why do you accept it to be true? Because it is called Shastra Pramana. Proof that somebody who has done research has put this over there. So the three types of pramana: Pratyaksha Pramana, Apta Pramana, Shastra Pramana. In the spiritual world, therefore, what happens? The link to all of this is the Apta, which is the Guru. So the Guru, who is Apta, meaning he is dear to you, he takes the Shastra Pramana, uses it to teach you, and you get Pratyaksha Pramana. When the Pratyaksha Pramana, Apta Pramana, and Shastra Pramana are all aligned, then we say, yes, this is true. Only a Pratyaksha Pramana, only my personal experience. Now look at a colorblind person. He looks at a leaf and he says, this is, for him, it is red in color, because he has got color inversion. Or he looks at my t-shirt and he says it is green in color. For him, it is green. Now, is that really true? No. Why? Because Pratyaksha Pramana is not tallying with the Apta Pramana, people around him, people who are dear to him. So when all three align, which is why in the Bhagavad Gita he says that when you go to a guru, the guru has to be Tattvavit and Jnani, both. Jnani meaning he has knowledge of the scripture, he has direct experience of reality, and both are validating each other. So first point we looked at, which was what is the Ananda. Second, we looked at what is proof. Now, when the Rishi takes this whole his learning and he puts it down, then he writes it in the form of Smriti. So Rishis are not the author of Shruti. They are receivers of Shruti, but they are transmitters of Smriti. Okay? We have understood that. Next is Sutra. Sutrani, right? Multiple sutras are there. Yajnavalkya Sutra, Brahma Sutra, Apastamba Sutra, right? These are sutra. Sutra means what? When those who have done the Brahma Sutra class, they will know. Sutra definition itself is that it has to be short, it has to be crisp, it has to have a meaning in itself, and so on and so forth. And so Sutrani basically are rishis who have written the literature to give logical support to the teaching of the Shruti and the Smriti. So that is the third. Let us understand this. Why is this important? Because our intellect, which is the closest approximation that we can reach, it understands only reasoning. This is called tarka or nyaya. So the three layers that we talked about, Shruti, Smriti, Sutrani, are the three pillars on the basic of which the gaining of knowledge happens. So basically, when you look at it, people who are called Jagat Gurus, they are people who have done literary work by writing bhashyam on these three. So Jagat Guru Bhagawan Shri Shankaracharya, he has written bhashya on the Shruti. How? He has written bhashya on the 10 Upanishads. Then he has written bhashya on the Smriti, Bhagavad Gita. And he has written bhashya on Brahma Sutra, Prasthana Traya. So whether it is Ramanujacharya, whether it is Madhvacharya, whether it is Nimbarkacharya, these are people who are addressed as Jagat Guru. They are people who have done this immense work of explaining these three things. Prasthana Trayam. The basic method of gaining knowledge, spiritual knowledge, is through understanding this. There is a fourth, preparatory steps. Preparation for reaching these three. It is called Prakarana Granthas. These are much easier to follow. Prasthanatrayam can be approached once we have prepared ourselves. So that is why we do for the smartas, we use the shloka which says Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So here there are various works written by in our parampara, starting with Shankaracharya, Sureshwaracharya, Vidyaranya, and then right up to Gurudev himself. We have got various works written by the Acharyas. The fourth layer of Prakarana Grantha, examples, Yoga Vasishtha, Tattva Bodha, Ashtavakra Gita, Manisha Panchakam, Advaita Pancharatnam, Nirvana Shatakam, Dasashloki, right? These are all names that you have heard. Aparoksha Anubhuti, Viveka Chudamani. Now you can see that a lot of these names that I'm mentioning, not of these Prakarana Granthas I'm mentioning, they have all come, a lot of them have come from Bhagavan Shankaracharya himself. Vakya Vritti, I have mentioned earlier. Upadesha Sahasri, Bhagavan Ramana has written, right? Then we have Sapnoditam, beautiful work, right? What talks about why this world is a dream. How is it a dream? Panchikaranam, so on and so forth. So all these Prakarana Granthas that have been given to us by so many Acharyas in so many ways. Why should we choose the Prakarana Granthas? Because they have been written by more modern people. So they understand our mind, they understand our generation. So that is why I normally say that if you want to study the Bhagavad Gita, you don't go to Shankaracharya's Bhashya directly. You go to Gurudev's Bhashya first. You learn and understand Gurudev's Bhashya because Gurudev is talking to you and me with a very modern context. After that, if you have mastered it and you still have questions, go to Shankaracharya and read his Bhashya. And you may find answers. Now, while we are doing all this, the whole effort of this requires two things. One, our own effort, prayatna. Prayatna means effort. He who does not put in effort cannot go anywhere, irrespective of whatever be the amount of grace or so and so. And the second, equally important, is Ishvara Anugraha. Ishvara Anugraha. Without these two, combination of these two, growth cannot happen. Now, when we look at all of this, there are Ishvara Anugraha sometimes comes to us in the form of unpredictable events. We call it then Bhagya, we call it fate, we call it Daivam, right? So we may be able to do some damage control, but we may not be able to control it. We may not even be able to predict it. So should I take effort or should I not take effort? Now, my real nature, right? My superior nature which is not by itself is called knowledge. Prajnana Brahma. That is a combination of all this material world also. And this material world is driven by what? It's driven by only one thing: energy. Energy alone drives this entire material world. Yogananda Paramahamsa, when he went to the US, he at that time, much before even Einstein talked about it, said that matter is nothing but energy. Now, he did not have scientific equations to prove it. Later on, Einstein proved that by giving that beautiful, very famous equation, E is equal to mc squared. Most people know the equation. They don't know the mathematics behind it. Even I don't. But we understand that energy and matter, energy is matter, matter can be becoming energy also. Now, if energy, the true nature of this entire universe is energy, what do we call this energy? How do I relate to this energy? How do I reach this energy? How do I get in touch with this energy? How do I make myself a part of this energy? What is the name of this energy? It is called Adi Shakti. It is called Mahamaya. It is called Tripura Sundari. He is called Adi Lakshmi. He is called Trigunamayi. Trigunamayi. And yet, when she transcends this energy, she is called Gunatita. Trigunatita. Nirguna. Nirmaya. Nirmaya. Right? So, this energy, we cannot, there is energy all around us. There is electricity everywhere, right? Can you see it? No. But when it goes through a madhyam, fan, light, computer, whatever you are using, electricity, then you can feel the presence of that. You cannot still see it. You cannot touch it, but you can feel the presence. The whole text of Soundarya Lahari is nothing but a madhyam by which we will be able to touch, feel, and understand the working of energy, the working of Adi Shakti, the working of Parashakti. So, what happens? We know that our senses are not very dependable, right? Our senses are very fickle. Rajju Sarpanyaya, very famous for all Advaitis. You see the snake in the rope. Now, our eyes are all the time telling us very different things. Our indriyas are all the time waiting to trick us. So therefore, or you can see the mirage in the desert. When you see a mirage in the desert, we call it Maru Marichika. Right? You see the desert, you see the water in the desert. There is no reality over there, but you can clearly see it. So, but for that illusion to happen, we have to become part of that illusion. Correct? इतना तो समझ में आ रहा है कि मैं इस illusion का part जब तक नहीं हूं तब तक illusion भी नहीं है. So when we go out of this, then we actually realize this from the 1 to 41 shlokas as to what is this entire energy. The first set of 41 shlokas can be divided into 3 basic things. First, it talks about Mahatripura Sundari. Second, it talks about the Sri Chakra. And third, it talks about the Sri Vidya. So I'm going to tell you shloka by shloka, and you can take notes if you want, what each of these shlokas is talking about. Shloka 1 and 2, it is saying, Mahatripura Sundari is nothing but Brahma Shakti Sarvadeva Vandya Punya Janopasya Chit Shakti Sri Chakra Sri Vidya Rupini. That is the meaning of shlokas 1 and 2. She is the energy that makes this consciousness function. Then shloka 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a big jump, 22 and 30. They talk of the sthula rupa of the Devi, and therefore they are talking of saguna upasana. Saguna upasana. Sthula rupa upasana or saguna upasana. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 22 and 30. 27, however, talks about nirguna upasana, which is followed by the higher level devotees who see that Parashakti is not different from myself. Shloka 11 starts with chakropasana, how the chakra is. 31, 32 and 33 refer to mantra upasana, how the mantra is to be used. The mantra, the three kutas of the mantra, how the three kutas function. We have seen the three kutas in the Lalita Sahasranama also. 9, 10, 14 and 21 refer to the Kundalini. So we call it Rupantara Upasana. Devi's Rupa has changed to the Kundalini, so it is called Rupantara Upasana. Then Sri Devi Mahatmya, the importance of Sri Devi. 12, 24, 25, 26, 28 and 29. It's very interestingly placed. While you are talking of the Mahatmya of Sri Devi, Acharya very subtly puts in that she is actually also Nirgunamayi in 27. So 12, 24, 25, 26, 26, 28 and 29 are Sri Devi Mahatmya. Then 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 and 30. 30, I'm repeating, Devi, here it is also about the nadis. So the nadi prayoga, right? How she rises from the Sushumna, how she goes up, how she comes down, that entire portion is given over here. 30 also refers to her physical parts also. So that is why it is Stula Rupa Upasana, Saguna Upasana. 23 and 24, 23 and 34 refer to Shiva Shakti Aikya. Shiva Shakti Aikya. 35 refers to Ekatva Abheda Rupa. Ekatva Abheda Rupa. And then 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41 are referring to the Shat Adhara Puja or Shat Chakra Puja according to the Samayachara. Shat Chakra or Shatadhara Puja according to the Samayachara. We have seen that Samayachara means internalized worship. Kaulachara normally looks at external worship. External worship requires a physical Sri Yantra, then it requires a physical Vedi on which the Yantra is kept. Then there will be the Navavarna Puja, then there will be some physical puja, Kumkumarchana, Deeparana, etc., etc., Patra Puja, and so Patra Sadhana. All that is part of what is called the Sri Vidya Kaulachara Puja. Samayachara, the entire process is internalized. The entire process is internalized. So this is the breakup of the entire 41 shlokas of the first 41 shlokas. Gaudapada Acharya, Shankara's Paramaguru, he has written a very interesting work called Subhagodayam. this actually, it is basically talks about the entire Samayachara, which enables one to get liberation. This part is hidden in the part what we were looking at, which is called the Ananda Lahari. So, what are we supposed to do with this? We are supposed to take any one of these shlokas. Now, I gave you all these breakup. Why? You can take up any part. You want to look at the Sarvadeva Vande Punyajana Upasaya Chit Shakti Rupini, you take up the shloka number 1, shloka number 2, and you use that as your mantra. You want to look at the Devi Sthula Rupa, you look at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you want to. Pick one of those forms where he describes the feet, he describes the breasts, he describes the face. He takes that and you take that and you put that in your mind and you do the upasana. Soundarya Lahari has also been used as a tantra text, by each shloka having a particular yantra, then they're doing a yantra upasana. I'm not asking you to do any of that. Just take any of these beautiful shlokas from 1 to 41 and take that as your own japa. Learn that by heart, by practicing it again and again, and use that as your chant. So, and then you can, after once you have got it by heart, you can actually chant it in various ragas, you can chant it in various songs, you can chant it in various tunes, but keep chanting the same mantra. And as we keep chanting the same mantra, see, somebody asked me recently again, and this is the question that keeps coming back. Is not the desire for moksha also a desire? Of course, it is a desire. But there is higher desire, lower desire. So if my desire for Rasgulla is removed, and instead of that, desire for Devi comes in, then I may progress. Otherwise, I will become a Rasgulla. Right? So if I keep thinking about Devi, I will be approach towards Devi. So therefore, by replacing our thinking through this, there is a possibility that we move forward. So all the grace of our gurus who have taught us this, and as we move forward with that, we can take any one of these shlokas and we can start and learn by chanting and use it as our mantropasana for Devi. So any questions here, any doubts? And incidentally, I think the best time to start this, you can start right now. This is the Gupta Navaratri, Ashadha Navaratri has started yesterday. Today is Rath Yatra day. The Lord of the the Lord of the universe, Sri Jagannath, makes himself available to the entire public in the world by coming out of his temple and sitting in a chariot and going from one place to the other. And when he goes to his Masi's house in Gundicha Dhar, there are no restrictions. Everybody can go inside and attend to him. Very interesting rituals. Then on the fifth day, Panchami, today is Dvitiya. Ashad is the beginning of the monsoon. Ashad and Shravan are supposed to be the beginning of the monsoon season in the north part of the country. And in Raghuvamsham, no, in Meghadutam, Sri Kalidas begins Meghadutam, I think, by saying Ashadasya Prathama Divase Megham Karoti Yavakrida. So like elephants, the clouds are coming against each other and banging into each other and causing rain. And beautiful description by Kalidas about how the rains are supposed to start. Ashadasya Prathama Divase. So today is the Ashadasya Dvitiya Divase. And Ashad Dvitiya, Rath Yatra, Ashad Prathama, the Gupta Navaratri has started. Season change has happened. Beautiful time for Devi to be worshipped. So you can use this period, the energy of this period, and start worshipping. On the Panchami, there is called a Hera Panchami. And Devi in Jagannath, she In Jagannath Puri, in the main Garbhagriha, Devi is not worshipped. Devi is worshipped outside. And there is a separate temple for her. So she goes and creates a ruckus in Gundicha Ghar. Why? Because she says, oh, this chap has run away to go with his Sakhis. He has gone and run away to play with his girlfriends. So she goes to find out whether he's actually gone there. Then on 7 days later on the Navami, he comes back, and the Rath comes back. But then she locks the door of the temple. And then there is a lot of tussle. And the priests of the followers of Devi, they temporarily win. And he is made to stand outside in the open for one whole night as a punishment for having left her and gone away from his house. Basically, these are all rituals which have been created so that in the earlier days, when people had a lot of restrictions, some people cannot go to the temple, this person is of higher caste, that person is of lower caste. And the Lord himself gave these beautiful rituals where he said, oh, it doesn't matter. I am Jagannath, I am the Lord of the universe, I will go to my devotees. So he comes out of his temple. So, beautiful period for us to start. Let us now go to Argala Stotram. We will do the entire Stotram today. So we will start from the beginning. Aum Shri Matre Namaha Atha Argala Stotram. Aum Asya Shri Argala Stotram Mantrasya Vishnu Rishihi Anushtup Chandaha Shri Mahalakshmi Devata Mantrodita Devyo Bijam Navarno Mantra Shaktihi Sri Saptasati Mantrastavam Sri Jagadamba Prityate Saptasati Patam Gatvena Jape Viniyogaha Dhyanam Aum बन्धूककुसुमाभासां पञ्चमुण्डादिवासिनीं स्फुरच्चन्द्रकलारत्नमुकुटां माण्डमालिनीं त्रिनेत्रां रक्तवसरां पीनोन्नतघटस्थनीं पुस्तकं चाक्षमालां च वरं चाभयकं क्रमात् अदतीं स्मरेन्नित्यम् उत्तराम्नायमानिताम् आं या चण्डी मधुकैटपादिदैत्यदलनीया महिषोन्मूलिनी या धूम्रेक्षणचण्डमुण्डमथनी या रक्तबीजाशनी शक्तिः शुम्भनिशुम्भदैत्यदलनीया सिद्धिदात्री परा सा देवी नवकोटिमूर्तिसहिता मां पातु विश्वेश्वरी ॐ नमश्चण्डिकायै मार्कण्डेय उवाच ॐ जयन्ती मङ्गलाकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा शिवा क्षमा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोऽस्तुते जय त्वं देवी चामुण्डे जय भूतापहारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोऽस्तुते मधुकैटभविद्रावि विद्धातृवरदे नमः रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि महिषासुरनिर्नाशी भक्तानां सुखदे नमः रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि धूम्रनेत्रवधे देवी धर्मकामार्थदायिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि रक्तबीजवधे देवी चण्डमुण्डविनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि शुम्भस्यैव निशुम्भस्य धूम्राक्षस्य च मर्दिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि वन्दिताङ्घ्रियुगे देवी सर्वसौभाग्यदायिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि अचिन्त्य रूपचरिते सर्वशत्रुविनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि न तेभ्य सर्वदा भक्त्या चण्डिके दुरितापहे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि तुवद्भयो भक्तिपूर्वं त्वां चण्डिके व्याधिनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि चण्डिके सततं युद्धे जयन्ती पापनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि देहि सौभाग्यमारोग्यं देहि मे परमं सुखं रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि विदेहि दे sorry my text just closed. Videhi Devi Kalyanam, Videhi Vipulam Shriyam, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Disho Jahi, Videhi Dushatam Nasham, Videhi Balamuchakehi, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi, Surasura Shiroratna Nigrishta Charanembike, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi, Vidyavantam Yashasvantam, Lakshmivantam Chamam Kuru, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi, Devi Prachanda Dordanda, Daitya Darpa Nishudhini, Vinupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Dehi, Prachanda Daitya Darpagne, Chandike Pranatayame, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi. From here we will start now. Chaturbhuje Chaturvaktra, Samstute Parameshwari, Chaturbhuje, she who has four hands. Chaturvaktra. Who has four hands? Vishnu. Who has four faces? Brahma. Chaturbhuje Chaturvaktra, Samstute. She who is praised by them. Samstute. Parameshwari. Parameshwari we understand. Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi. Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi. Krishnena Samstute Devi. Krishnena by Krishna. Samstutena Devi. Shashwat Bhaktya Sadambike, Shashwat Bhaktya, with a continuous flow of devotion. Shashwat. Shashwat means continuous, perpetual. So Krishna worshipped you with a perpetual flow of devotion. Krishnena Samstute Devi, Shashwat Bhaktya Sadambike, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi, Himachala Sutanatha, Samstute Parameshwari, Himachala Sutanatha. So, this is beautiful. Himachala Sutanatha, who is praised by the Lord of the daughter of the mountains. Himachala Suta. Himachala Suta means Parvati. Himachala Sutanatha, he who married the daughter of the Himalayas, which means Shiva. Himachala Sutanatha Samstute, she who is praised by Shiva. Himachala Sutanatha Samstute Parameshwari, Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi, Indranipati Sadbhava. So Indra, again, he's Markandeya is using a very beautiful textual method. See, he's not saying Indra Samstute. Indrani Pati Sadbhava Pujite Parameshwari. So he's saying here that Indrani's husband. Now, why is he putting in this case Himachala Sutta, Indrani? Because he's indicating that these people, Indra, Shiva, all of them are powerful only because of you. So he's using the feminine of that to emphasize that. So therefore he says Indrani Pati Sadbhava Pujite Parameshwari Devi Bhakta Jano Dama Dattanando Dayambike Devi Bhakta Janodama Dattanando Dayambike. What here Devi, we understand, Bhakta Jana, multitude of all the devotees. Uddama, he who is not tied down. Uddama, Datta, granting. Ananda, Udaya, rising. Devi Ambike. So you give the upsurge of unbounded joy. Ananda, which is unbounded. Uddama Ananda. So she who gives to her devotees the unbounded Ananda. Which is unbounded Ananda? Being merged with her is unbounded Ananda. Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi. Now this is a very interesting text. Bharya Manoramam Dehi, Manovrittanusaarinim. Now, because Markandeya is writing this, he cannot write, give me husband, right? He has to write, give me wife. But for us, whoever, depending on your gender, you can write that. Because this life journey, you require a partner. Now, this partner, Bharya, does not, why has been literally translated as Jo Bhar Uthata Hai. Right? She who lifts my weight. Right? The opposite of that, Bharta. Bharta. Bharta means he who fulfills. So the relationship between husband and wife is so beautifully given as Bharya, she who lifts the weight, Bharta, he who fulfills. So you can, when you are chanting, you can actually say Bharta Manorama, right? Manorama Dehi. Bharta Manorama Dehi. You can change the text also. You are not Markandeya, so you cannot say Bharya Manoramam Devi. Right? So, but see, what is he saying here? He is saying Manovrittanusarini, according to my mental makeup, which means give me somebody who will participate in my journey of life according to my mental vibration. And what is my mental vibration? My mental vibration is to be at your feet. My mental vibration is to be worshipping you. So give me somebody who will participate in this journey with me. Bharyam manoramam dehi मनोवृत्तानुसारिणीं रूपम देहि जयम देहि यशो देहि दुषो जहि तारिणीं दुर्ग संसार सागरस्य चलोद्भवे तारिणीं Tara, one of the names of Devi is Tara, she who helps us to cross. Tarineem, she helps us to cross. Durga samsara sagara. Samsara sagara means Durga means difficult. It also means a fortress. Samsara, we understand. Sagara, ocean. Achala, immovable. Udbhava, coming from. So this samsara sagara, which is this worldly existence, he who enables us to cross this. Tarini Durga Samsara, Tarini Durga Samsara Sagara Syat Achala Udbhave. Achala Udbhave. She who was born in the mountains. She was born from the mountains. So the indication obviously is to Devi. Tarini Durga Samsara Sagara Syachalodbhave Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi. And then the last is the Falasruti. Idam Stotram Pathitvatu Mahastotra Patennaraha. Idam, this Stotram Patitva, having read Patitva tu, then Mahastotra, then read the great Stotra. The great Stotra is Durga Shaptasati. Patennaraha, people should read. So you should read the great Stotra after having read this Stotra. Saptashatim Samaradhya. Saptashatim, we know, the 700 shlokas in praise of Devi. Samaradhya, like or equal to be worshipped as equal to. Saptashatim Samaradhya. Varam apnoti durlabham. You obtain boons which are difficult to receive. What are the difficult boons to receive? Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dusho Jahi. That is the difficult boon. तो इसीलिए उसको बार बार मांगा गया है. And we have understood, right? Rupam Dehi does not mean to become physically beautiful. Yasho Dehi does not mean that okay, you have to be world famous, right? This is the spiritual meaning of these have to be understood. So this is the entire stotram, the Argala stotram. So my request is today, at least do the chant of the Argala stotram at least 3 times in the evening, Sandhya Kala. Light the lamp in your house. Please do the chant of the Argala stotram 3 times. And then you can take up any one of the shlokas of the Soundarya Lahari and start off from today. Any questions, any thoughts? Otherwise, we can close. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.